Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for a Lunch and Learn session as we take this opportunity to learn about all the important resources that are available to you as a member of the Down Syndrome Association. Today, we are pleased to welcome Peggy Welker with the Recreation Council. Peggy has been the St. Louis County Coordinator since 2017 after earning her master's degree in social work. She enjoys interacting with individuals with disabilities, parents, and support professionals to help match participants with recreation and leisure activities according to their individual interests and needs. She also believes everyone has something unique to contribute to the community. I love that. She and her husband have 3 adult children. Their daughter with autism lives her best life with daily activities that include the swim team, track team, bowling team, a group of friends, and overnight camps. Peggy also enjoys a variety of recreational activities, including biking, hiking, photography, and reading a good book overlooking a beautiful lake. Peggy, welcome, and thank you so much for offering to present for us today.
Well, thank you. I want to just go through and thank you, Linda, and thank you, everybody, for the opportunity to really bring to life how recreation can be relevant, properly supported, and meaningful for your loved one. So I am going to just very quickly go through my PowerPoint. Okay. So the Recreation Council, we work to promote and support recreation and leisure, so you don't have to always build up a sweat, opportunities for individuals with developmental and intellectual and developmental disabilities since 1983. So we've been doing this for a while. You can see that when we mean recreation, you can see we mean recreation. And we get most excited about individuals who have higher support needs, having the opportunity. We are scouring, looking for opportunities for people with high support needs to get the recreation opportunities that they themselves are interested in a supported environment. We're a nonprofit organization, and we are proudly funded by our alliance partners. That is in St. Louis City, it's the DDR. In St. Louis County, it's the Productive Living Board. And in St. Charles County, it's DDRB. We also have a bit of a relationship in Jefferson County. And we're just always keeping busy. We have information and referral. So I have in my head maybe about 200 different ideas, but you would not want me to overwhelm you with all of that. And so we want to know about your child, your loved one. We want to know, what age are they? What support needs do they have? What part of St. Louis County or what part of the region do you live in? Because if you live in University City, I'm not so interested in telling you about things that are out in Wildwood that you're going to have to drive 45 minutes every day. And so it's really based upon choice and your interests, your child's interests, your child's support needs. While we provide information, we also provide funding and vouchers to help fund specific leisure and recreation programs, programs that support individuals with developmental disabilities. We also have publications. We have an online summer opportunities guide that's a PDF that if you need us to send that to you in the mail, we'd be happy to do that. And then we do things like we're doing right now, community presentation, and we have a few adapted recreation equipment that we can loan out. I think mainly it's bicycles that are adapted for assistance by someone else. Well, what are the benefits of doing recreation? I just want to say, think about yourself and think about your life. Do you feel better sitting in a chair all day watching TV? Or do you feel better getting your coat on, getting out, taking a walk around the neighborhood, having the or going to the YMCA or going somewhere else, having the opportunity to walk and to move? I know that the older I get, when I wake up in the morning, I'm a little stiff. But I also know that as pressures build up throughout the day, that pressure builds up in my muscles. And the thing that really helps me release all of that tension, a lot of that tension, helps clear my mind of all the foggy, all the spider webs, and really helps me manage and regulate my own emotions and behaviors and thoughts is exercise, recreation, moving, getting out of my everyday environment. And so there are health, social, and physical benefits to getting moving, both for us and for our loved ones. There's the opportunity to build friendships and develop new skills and feel part of a community and finding other people that actually share your same interests. My daughter has autism and intellectual disability. Actually, she has 18 disabilities, but you would never know it by meeting her because she just wants to love on you. That's really what she wants to do. But that's an initial reaction by my daughter. She has a very hard time having a relationship, a back and forth caring relationship with a person. She cares about them, but it's really more of a parallel play situation with my daughter. And so this idea of going to a recreation program where she has shared interests, even though she may have a different skill level, is something that has been very beneficial for her. And I think that it makes her feel more connected and like she has a more meaningful life in her world. So I just wanted to throw that out. How can we assist families? Well, here's the nitty gritty. Most of, but not all of, our funding programs. Our biggest funding program is called the Overnight Camp Voucher. So when my daughter was 13, people told me that I should send her to overnight away from home camp. I don't know. So I scoured and I looked in the newspaper for any scandals. Didn't find hardly any, to be honest. That was back when we had online newspapers that you could just find anything. And I also, asked some questions based on some information the Recreation Council had given me. So when my daughter was 13, that was 2015, I had not even started here at the Recreation Council. I had just heard of the Recreation Council. So sure enough, I signed her up for a camp. She didn't know what camp was. We drove to the location a few hours away. I was convinced that they were not going to be able to handle her because she looks sweet on the outside, but she's a master manipulator on the inside. I said, "Here, you take my cell phone number and you'll need to call me in a few days." And 30 minutes down the road, I rented a little cabin, brought my peanut butter and jelly, brought my books that I was going to read. I never get to read. I spent the whole week reading books out on a back patio overlooking a lake and forest. I couldn't believe it. And when we got there, she saw the environment and she turned to me and she said, "Mom, you go away. I be with my friends." And it's been like that ever since. She loves this independence. She loves the special environment that she has. And I feel safe because she's in a supported environment and she is learning how to, spread her wings in a safe environment. So that is our overnight camp voucher program. Most camp programs, most is general statement, are approximately $1,300 in summer of 2025. And we give approximately $900 as funds are available for individuals with developmental disabilities, intellectual and developmental disabilities. And so that's a very large portion of that. So if you do venture out and you do look at camps, you might consider that that's a camp that don't let the cost scare you away. We also have something called the CARE Voucher Program, Community Access Recreation Experience. And that is just like the camp program, it's ages 6 to adult. So it's a forever age group. And it's over the entire year. It's meant to be a program to offset the cost of more local recreation ongoing programs, such as swim lessons, taekwondo, karate, even a membership to a local fitness center or YMCA just for the individual, not for the family. It is a $350 reimbursement program with a 10% copay. And that's over multiple programs. So you could do $100 of buddy up tennis, $100 of swim lessons, $100 of a theater program, and you could just go until you have been reimbursed $350. The reimbursement is based upon the attendance of your child. It has to be at least 75% attendance between the start and the end day of the program. And you have to have paid the program in full. Some programs will allow you just to pay your 10% and they can wait for our portion, but that's pretty rare when it comes to local programs. Even small municipalities and small businesses, they can't float that level of funding for those 6 or 8 weeks. So usually you have to pay for it up front. Another program that we just acquired in the last 2 years is not on this list. It's kind of a companion. It's called the Summer Voucher. Now, the care funds are up to $350 reimbursement with a 10% copay for multiple programs over the entire fiscal year. The summer voucher is just St. Louis County. It's a reimbursement of 50% parent copay, up to $1,000 of expenses, which is a $500 reimbursement for one program over the summer. I believe it's ages 3 to 20. And if you want more information about that, you would contact my director, Sue Fleming. We also know that if you have a child, let's say you have a son who's 10 years old and they're going to go to summer day camp, and maybe around lunchtime they need help eating their lunch and they need help with some personal care needs, then we have something called the recreation support voucher. And we have a reimbursement rate of $8 an hour, I believe, up to 80 hours throughout the entire year. So, that 10-year-old son of yours doesn't really want mom going in the men's restroom with him to help him change his swimsuit, maybe. But maybe you have, a friend of the family or a brother who doesn't live with him or something along those lines, someone else that can support your son. And during the recreation time, we offer that reimbursement. Recreation Support Voucher Program. It is meant to be for individuals who have personal care needs that a recreation program cannot support, or maybe they have some behavior needs that a recreation program cannot support. Our next voucher program is ages 18 and above. It's an adult program. It's called the Experiential Adventure Voucher Program. The St. Louis Arc has something called Arc Escapes. Sunny Hill has something called Sunny Hill Adventures. And Trout Lodge has something that we've kind of crafted with them that we could talk about later if you're interested in. The idea behind experiential adventure vouchers and the experiential adventure program is the opportunity for individual who's an adult with a disability to be in a different environment, experience something new and different, and then to be able to make kind of problem-solving decisions based on that. Of course, it's a supported environment. Imagine that the Cincinnati Reds are playing the St. Louis Cardinals in Cincinnati. Well, they're going to take 2 or 3 days. They're going to leave Friday morning, maybe around 9. They're going to all get on a bus together. It's going to be like a 1-to-4 ratio. They're going to go down and they're going to get some of that famous Cincinnati chili for dinner. And then they're going to take in the Cardinals versus the Reds game the next day. They're to spend 2 nights overnight. They're going to do some tourist things. They're going to go out to dinner a couple of times and lunch. And then they're going to head back home on Sunday. That voucher is a funding of $730. And right now, for one adventure at those 2 programs, it's around, I think, $950 or $980. So you can see there's a copay of about $220 for that experiential adventure. Extended day is something that we offer in St. Louis County, and that is if both parents are working, or caregivers, in the home are working, and they have someone after school that is watching their child, and that child is between the ages of 13 and 20, we offer a reimbursement of that program, a reimbursement of those childcare costs, the care provider costs. And if anybody's interested in that, they can contact me about that. How do you find all these wonderful things that we've been talking about? Well, this is our website, recreationcouncil.org. Up there at the top, I hope you can see that arrow pointing to applications. You would go on there, you click applications, you click St. Louis County, and you'll find the application packets for each of these. But also there's that orange arrow next to service type and program type. This is just a picture of our screen, but if I were to take program type and open that up, here we go, completely overwhelmed. There are social groups, there are fitness programs, there are all sorts of different opportunities in categories. There's horsemanship, horse therapy, horseback riding therapy. So there's a lot of different programs that you can search for. I leave the service area to be St. Louis City, St. Louis County, St. Charles County, because I'm just curious to see what else there is. There's also, I don't know if you can see, there's an activities section. So you can look at activities going on in your area. And we have a weekly email blast that tells you, what the Magic House is doing this week, and, all the different programs and things that are going on. We also want to give you opportunity to know what's happening in the moment. So we have guides, that thing called tips for finding a recreation program. That's what I used. I used some of those questions when I was looking at overnight camp. And we have tips on asking those questions that you might not think of on your own. We also have newsletters, a winter newsletter, spring newsletter. There's other things that we have. And actually, on that previous page, if you just keep going down, you'll hit this newsletter and guides section, and you can click on that also. And that is a young man who went to Camp Barnabas. So you can see he's just starting his adventure. So his smile isn't quite as big as his smile will be at the end of the entire week at Camp Barnabas. These people are individuals who are going on an adventure. And so, as I said before, thank you to our funding partners. Here are the phone numbers if you want to get a hold of any of us: St. Louis County, St. Louis City, St. Charles. I didn't want to take a long time talking through my PowerPoint here, but I just wanted to make sure that we hit all the major things about what the Recreation Council has to offer. And then here again, there's more things that are going on here. The young man at the bottom with all the men helper around him, that's Camp Lakewood, and they do offer a supported environment. That's a very fast-paced camp. 8 things a day is what they do. But again, they offer some really great camp counselors. They want to know your child's IEP, their support needs. The young man standing next to him on the bridge, the one with the red cap and the white shirt, he was so proud of himself when I went to visit him at Camp Wonderland. You can see the look on his face, how proud he is, because he'd never walked across a wobbly bridge before. And he was so excited to walk across that wobbly bridge, just proud of himself. So you can see these opportunities for something that you and I wouldn't necessarily think about as an extraordinary thing, but you can see that look on his face. That was an extraordinary thing for him. And then the young lady in the top right was enjoying summer camp with Variety Club. And then over on the left, it's the Disabled Water Ski Association. And you can tell that man is really buff. He is doing this all on his it's it's just an amazing, amazing program.